outro for the video. Yeah, I'll just follow through it while I set up the right build for this. What is it? Now I'm having intro talks with my outro talks. It's too much. It needs to stop. Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is a re-preview. It's a new thing I'm doing on Champions Chat every Tuesday. Come show up. We're doing re-previews of older superstars that have become viable to very good with new trainers and new plates and stuff. And at the end of each stream, you get to vote on who I do the following week. So come hang out on Tuesdays on the Champions Twitch, the official channel. And we're going to do that. Today is Devon. It's going to be a preview of 3 move sets for him. The move damage one we're going to run first just doesn't scale anymore. I'm going to show you that. It's 100% move damage strap, takedown 2s, blue move damage metal. Entourage for this is as far as I can tell, this is the best entourage you can run, period, for this move set. We got Pat Patterson for 2 blue, 100% blue. Move damage, we got one of the head shrinkers. I think it's Fatu Powerhouse. 2 blue MP, so we have 4 total. 1 for our turn is 5, 50% blue move damage. Then we got Gooker for 75%, and Honky Tonk Hall of Fame for 40%. And as you can see, the moves: 5 MP, Corkscrew Elbow, 259k, increase your blue moves damage by 80% for 1 turn. Headbutt drop, 5 MP, 219k damage, choose a 3x2 area to swap into blues. Was up, 10 MP finisher, 890k damage, make 39 random gems into red gems, pin the opponent. So that's what we're going to run with. We're going to go against probably Sammy here on the road, because this does not do a ton of damage. As of course, as you know, lately in feud, last 3 feuds has been 40% health buff with the free steps. So big health pools in feud these days. I was also live recording this on the Champions Twitch channel. You can see Jack there is throwing Mherex emotes and Big Love's yeeting. He's yeeting all over the place. He's saying hi to his mom. He's YouTube famous. Other people are making fun of my memory, which I support. You can see, though, basically starting out, he's at 1.8 million, 1.5 million, and 6 million before the boof. After boof, it's not great still. And you can see we're 2.8 million and 11 million, but we can get the boof again if I don't cascade. No guarantees or promises, because it's me. We don't cascade. That's great. Fantastic. So now we can hit the boof again. And Sammy started at what, guys? Like, was it like 60 some million, 60, right around 60 million health? We're not going real far. If we hit this, we can do more damage, but then we can't refill the moves, and then we're hung out to dry. And we're only hitting 16 million on the finisher. So it's no guarantee. And because it's a takedown set, these reds aren't doing an exceptional amount of damage. So I'm just going to hold that move. And you can see it's a really small pin, 19 million, 1 swipe, he kicks out. Obviously, this is not getting it done these days, right? In no way, shape, or form can you take this into a gold feud and run with this. With what we have in the game currently, you can throw his move damage set straight out the door. So this is a pretty easy one to forget about for the re-preview. Interestingly enough, though, this is about how hard he would hit. At 6-star bronze, just slightly less. And when he came out, I believe 6-star silver was the cap. And against 6-star silver, you could get stuff done this way. In this case, I would hit the move and not place it, because we should be able to get close to zeroing him. Anyway, against a striker without boosted health, you can win and come close to zeroing them in 2 cycles. So super not ideal, right? So obviously that's not going to get it done. Move damage is not the way to go. We kind of knew that, but we had to try it. So what if you don't have maybe crazy plates and all that kind of stuff? You can still run triple purple to okay effect. It's safer because you drain their MP. However, you see a lot more sub reversals, so it's not ideal. But before you get crazy stuff, and good stuff even, you have to rely on subs a lot. So we're going to run the triple purple with friendly-ish trainers. Zombie Bread is maybe not super friendly, but any other zombie would work. So Zombie Chelsea, Bread is just the better choice. as he gives 40% to purple as well. We're going to switch to 100% gem damage strap here real quick. And then we're going to switch to triple purple. Boom. Seated rear chin lock sub. Testify. The sub is 6. Testify is 7. And Saving Grace is also 7. Triple purple. The sub is 33 rando sub gems, 262k, 3 turns, remaining turn into color turn gem. Saving Grace is awesome. It's a saving grace, you might say. Make 11 random color turn gems into multiply gems of strength 7. It's a hardcore, so if it's a showboat, you also make an additional 11 into multiply gems of strength 9. And then Testify, make 35 random gems into purple gems. Entourage, like I said, going to be more friendly. So Gunther Tech, Woods, that gets you loaded and feud with 1 to spare for your turn, so they can have 1 MP down and you're still going. Purple gems do 40% more damage, and 60 multiply from Brett, and 60 multiply from Gunther. I will show you this against a striker and a showboat. It does pretty well. Yes, I am definitely the Cascade King, but I survived Copperhead. Yeah, definitely gross on the move damage. And you guys can feel free to chime in with your thoughts or comments on these, or like, you know, this is stupid, I would never run this particular build. Also, downside to color turns, you can see they can possibly cascade at the wrong time. And you see Sammy, even though we used a sub because he got a black match, is close to being filled. Another reason why I don't like relying on subs, because bad things can happen. But damage-wise, we hit for 28 million. That's not bad. It's going to be probably a 2-cycle win with a theoretical drain, but as you can see, theory doesn't always play out. Not ideal, but no plates. For a plate that you might be likely to have, All Heart would be the plate to go with this. It'll add 100% purple gem damage. And then the Acolyte Ultimate plate, I believe, adds 75% gem damage on the sub. So you could pick up an additional 175% gem damage on these multiplies, which would be something worth noting. So most likely you get those plates, you got these trainers, you're looking at 2-cycle wins in feud, showdown, etc. That was 35 mil better, right? I think with the 2 plates I was talking about, you could probably push up to 40-ish mil, I would say, on a striker potentially, if you keep your count or color turns on the board. But where Devon shines at lower levels is against specifically showboats. When I show you him maxed out, he's way more than just a showboat killer, but the showboat killing is quite impressive. So definitely stay tuned for more. So pretty easy gameplay loop though. It's just the sub, and then you're going to get double the multiplies. Boom. Bunch of multiplies. They're also too bigger against the showboat. We don't have many purples, so we may miss some multiplies here. And we did. We missed 3. But still, that was 50 million against a showboat. So you strap that up with All Heart and the Acolyte subplate, you might push like 65-ish, I think, on something like that on a good one. So it runs. It's not necessarily ideal, but it still runs. So then we finally move to where it starts to get kind of really exciting, I think. I'm going to start with this same trainer setup, but I'm going to change one move. I'm going to take the sub out, and we're going to drop in the leaping shoulder block. 1 MP, 315k damage, choose 5x7 to make into color turns. And I'm just going to show you what this does on a showboat straight up without adding any plates before we get into more rare stuff, right? So you can see what simplified or more friendly trainers would potentially do, is the right way of saying that. And you can see no chance of losing the color turns here. Nothing can go wrong because you're not in a sub. However, you don't drain them. But you can see turn 1, no plates. This setup, you could expect on a showboat 50 mil, which is pretty good. Non-showboat, you're going to do more like 28 to 30 like we saw. To keep it decent time restrictive, I'm not going to run that one on a non-showboat. If you're running this, you should probably stick to showboats, I would say. But really, if you're running this, you should probably stick to triple purple. So let's move on before I get to the really whaley stuff. This you can run quite effectively if you have a middle lane. And people always ask, what's a middle lane? Yeah, big love, not bad base. What's a middle lane is the middle lane has a 1 MP boost that's multicolor. Lately, the middle lanes have been very friendly, so you have 1 extra MP to start with. This also would work if you have 1 MP on a bottom lane, because Woods gives you 4 MP, right? Your turn gives you 1 for 5. Santa gives you 1 for 6, and then the middle lane gives you 1 for 7, so you would start completely loaded. And you trade Gunther for Mosh, who is very available. He's a free-to-play one for sure. And Mosh makes a huge difference, because now we're making 16 and 16 gems, and then this becomes Santa. And again, this is no plates, but it does require a lane boost, so worth noting, either a bottom with purple or any middle lane. And this is what this will do against a showboat for you with no plates. Don't mind me. I forgot I don't have perks like you wouldn't in Feud unless you have a middle lane. So you can basically ignore everything you saw there. It's fine. I'm terrible at this game. And now we'll start it. Since we don't have plates, the color turns don't matter. All the damage would be exactly the same. Everything's good. Trust me. Hear me now, believe me later. No surprise. Anyway, what happens is this with Mosh. You're going to get a crap ton of multiply gems everywhere. All but 2 are going to be multiply gems in that area of color turns. And then you're going to hit for the big boom. I am, Jamie. I really am. And by big boom, that's a 80 million gem damage with no plates on a middle lane with fairly friendly trainers on a showboat. I'll go ahead and show you that one on a non-showboat, because I think that one's worth it, because, you know, ideally you're going to play him against a showboat, but it's nice to be able, when someone doesn't have a showboat, to fall back on someone else to kill. So the question is, can he get enough done eventually where you can do both reliably? The answer is yes. I already know the answer, by the way. Same thing. Let's just, okay. There we go. Middle lane would have you filled. Let's see how we do against Zombie Sammy. And if I'm going through this kind of fast on stream, we went through this like much slower. We actually did a really good breakdown on move damage and stuff today. It was a lot of fun. There's a ton of information about the game you can pick up. I learned on my streams too from chat. That one we missed a bunch of multiplies, still hit for 31 million. Not where we need to be yet without plates, right? So I'll just show you the souped up version real quick, and then with trainers. And then we'll put on the plates and I'll show you, I'll run it without, I'll run it with a bunch of different things, right? So, or trainers, because it'll go fast. So, essentially, this is the souped up version. Leo and Brett are almost interchangeable, to be honest. It's super, super close. It's within like 1 million or 2 damage for the most part. Really not a big deal. To be honest. So you can substitute Leo as Zombie Brett. Howdy's what really makes it go. And then NOD Rock is nice, but Howdy is the big difference maker, because you're getting 6 more multiplies, right? You're all loaded up. Everything is great and groovy. I'll run this one once, then we'll put plates on. The plates you're going to use in the primary plate is the Devon's Glasses. That one's pretty obtainable, honestly. That one does 50% extra gem damage. It's not huge, so I won't show you with just that. Because it doesn't make a huge difference, but it did on a showboat, as I recall, add about 5 million for us damage. So it's not nothing. It's definitely a significant amount. Same would go for if you have 150% strap. But you can see this setup does 42 million on Sammy. You've already seen this on a showboat with lesser trainers hit for 80. I think we were doing like, I want to say like 90 on showboats with this without plates. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I think it was like 90-ish with that version. And in Leo or Brett, it's very similar. I'll just go ahead and put Brett on now for the rest of it. I just wanted to show Leo, but Brett is really, really close. And then I'll put the 2 plates on. This is where he gets really great. And I think you're in for a treat if you haven't seen it. I have my Devon at gold, and I run this setup on him that I'm going to show you currently. So now I just need to find the plate, which is always a struggle for me. That went pretty smoothly. So Devon specs, make 6 or more color turn gems, increase all your gem damage by 50% for 1 turn. And then the big boy, as it were the Punk's gauntlets, 6 color turn gems, 500%. That's 550% extra gem damage on big ol' multiplies. Yeah, that's significant. So here we go. Let's bring the pain. Yeet! As Big Love said. We yeetin'. And this is again on a non-showboat. So I think you'll be impressed. I think this will play for you. And this is like worst case scenario when you can't go against a showboat. There's also a feud moment for the Dudleys that I'm not showing in this. So you can hit harder than you're going to see here with the feud moment. We missed some multiply gems. We still hit for 90 million. And we missed 3 of the multiplies. And that's not against the showboat. So wait till I show you this against a showboat. It's also fast and efficient. And as you guys know, showboats can be a problem with their health in feud. This definitely fixes that. Actually, use this all last feud. There was a boost for sure that was affecting him. And I was hitting ridiculously hard. I'll tell you the number after you see his actual number here. We missed 3 multiplies and hit for 185 million. That's with 100% strap and Fury 2s. Last feud, I had boosts, right? Because I had Alexa. So I was hitting for over 300 million last feud on showboats. It's really, really good. Devon this way, my opinion, one of the best acros in the game. I think he's really good. It's pretty fast. Punk is super good too. Gauntlets are great on Punk. Punk's probably slightly better for the gauntlets because he's got the unblockable move damage with it, but he's really, really good. And he's a fun era, and I'm a Devon mark, so I literally think he's one of the better acros with this. Hits incredibly hard against showboats, which is one of the more worrisome ones with HP. And as long as we're talking about the Punk's gauntlets, my top 4 for it, spots for it is Acro Devon, Acro Punk, Trickster Liv, and Striker Naya. After that, the potential falls off a lot. There are other places you could put it. The next best would probably be New Gen Seth, but I don't love it there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this re-preview. We're going to do another one next Tuesday. Not sure yet. We're going to vote right now after recording this. And come hang out on Twitch, guys. It's a lot of fun. I like having people hang out and talking about the game and stuff. So every Tuesday on the Champs channel is the re-preview. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. On that, guys, good luck out there. I think we need to get some tables now, guys, because Devon's ready to go. We need to get some tables.